Hi there. We are going to get started with our first module for Beyond the Label. And I chose communication because I believe that it's very important for communication to be taught, for communication to be addressed. And those of you who know me and have worked with me, you know that I have a background in speech therapy. But I also am very adamant about getting the message across that autism is not a behavior disorder. It impacts our communication and the way we process the environment. So we're going to go ahead and get started on some simple strategies to facilitate communication. All right, what you are going to learn. Well, you're going to learn how to teach your child that communication has power. You're going to learn how to create opportunities for communication. And we're going to talk about ways to develop spontaneous communication. So let me just quickly go through the importance of teaching communication, and that it's important is really kind of the foundation, building block for that communication method, however your child decides to communicate or whatever works best for them. Communication is empowering, but if your child doesn't understand that, then they're not going to practice and they won't be motivated to use their communication. So I'm going to share with you some ideas on how to teach that communication is powerful. In regards to creating opportunities for communication, so we teach that communication is powerful, but if we only have 2 to 3 times a day to practice communication, we're not going to make progress very quickly. So I will talk to you about strategies on creating those opportunities for your child to practice communication. And then, of course, the end result is to lead to spontaneous communication from your child in a naturalistic setting. I am a proponent of parents being parents, not therapists, and I want it to be as natural as possible for children to communicate their needs and wants. The power of communication. Teaching your child the power of communication is the foundation for building communication skills. If they realize if I say more, if I say please, if I ask for cookie and I get what I want, that's pretty powerful. I'm going to keep doing that. I will keep requesting. A lot of times families will say, well, they only speak when they want to, when they want that cookie. Yes, because that's what they're motivated for. If there's nothing else that they need, then why use your communication? So we have to build on that. We have to teach that, and we have to strategically plan around that. So let's talk a little bit about why communication is important and why I've chosen this as the first topic. If we look at autism spectrum disorder, it impacts communication. If we have a lack of communication, then that impacts our behaviors. Behaviors are all a form of communication. So if you see on the slide how, it all comes full circle, right? Communication, autism, behavior, all entwined. Autism primarily affects communication. That lack of communication will lead to those behaviors that are inappropriate because our child is using behavior to communicate their needs and wants or how they feel. Well, let's talk about how we can minimize those inappropriate behaviors by focusing on communication. We're going to talk about 7 simple strategies you can implement to initiate communication, and you can embed these in the practices of your day-to-day schedule.